Social anxiety? I don't think I do. I think I've had a generalized form of anxiety that was, genetically passed on to me. But the thing about anxiety, though, it's not just passed on genetically, it's passed on mimetically. Let's say I get evaluated. Like, for example, that I left karaoke early after two songs and people really liked and they were disappointed. Was it that the crowd was getting bigger in the bar, which was making me want to leave? There's a few reasons I wanted to leave. But the main reason is it's getting crowded in the bar, and it's a bar. It's a place where people drink. It's a place where people are loud, and it's not my favorite venue to sing. If I performed on stage and there's a lot of people, and they know when to be quiet and when to cheer and when to applaud, or even respond if I ask questions on stage, then that's great. There can be a lot of people there. If I was famous and I performed, I wouldn't want to go to places where there's liquor licenses, though. Just as a way to send a message, even though it's less likely to have people be drunk or misbehave there, there's still issues with this that are growing when it's allowed. So I'm watching this right now. Didn't know about this movie. This is where I just applied for a very low number of hour job at a place where in a couple of days they will have had my tutoring poster, which is wearing out, on their board since, according to their stamp, last year. So 1 full year of no students in tutoring in Prince Rupert. But they've seen me interact with them and others there of different ages and demographics. They weren't always happy that sometimes I challenged them on things, the quality of work. But they know I'm a respectable person, and they know I have a sense of humor, good conversation, and listening skills, and that I'm comfortable interacting with others, including strangers. So if I get an interview, and during the interview I make a joke about watching this movie, like I did when I leased it out or checked it out, is I said, oh, in case I get the job, I better start my training. And it's a joke, but if I make it during the interview, I think they'd have a confused issue about whether you joke about something like that, because it could be interpreted that you believe it's true. And the thing is some of them, I can name a few over there, know that I have a sense of humor, but also it comes with intelligence. And they would know, no, he doesn't really think that's the life of the librarian. But he's also a grown-up man who's confident about saying what he can or can't do, and he's even confident in answering, did you joke with that, or do you believe that? And it'd be sad if somebody needs to ask that. But now let's say I'm being, let's say, evaluated psychologically. Let's say I go into the RCMP because I challenge them with their response, because they should have both known, the people that responded or interacted with me this week, they should already know that I filled out the forms that they're sending to me again. So let's say I get an interview and they say, okay, then the next stage is psychological and medical evaluation. And let's say in the psychological evaluation, no matter who does it, in what role or certification or training they have, and I make jokes with them, they might say, oh, do you make jokes to make you comfortable? Do you have social anxiety? Well, the truth is I often make jokes to make others comfortable with my intelligence and with my competence, which is a bit shocking to people. And they would tend, feeling kind of awestruck, to think something's wrong with me, and then they'd want to diagnose me from being different than the norm of somebody in an interview or a psychological evaluation, somebody with confidence in who they are. Now, one thing I was thinking about here is I'm not super high intelligence. One advantage I have is I have a good balance of the different types of intelligence. and a variety of human thinking tools. Uh, and also, I value intelligence, which means I use them every day because some people might test higher than me on an IQ test or different types of intelligence tests. But they might not act like that at work because at work they're trying to conform, or with their family or relationship or meeting strangers. They might conform and their intelligence doesn't come out. So over time, their intelligence goes down while mine goes up. And it doesn't go up high, but when you interact more and more with people where it's been going down, it makes you very separate than the norm. So somebody, again, if you evaluate them for their behaviors, might show at a certain level of intelligence. But if they go do a test, the way it's designed right now, let's say just an IQ test, a typical IQ test, they might score, a few points above the average, quite a few, let's say. Well, that's just in theory. It's not specifically in practice. And that's one of the things that is very different about me and others and why they believe there's something wrong with me or different forms of my intelligence is below the norm because I don't conform to peer pressure or domestication or just make the choices in social surroundings that they do. Am I supposed to act really nervous the first time I go to karaoke to make people comfortable? Or am I supposed to just be me and have fun and also learn because the version of North Alaska wasn't the same? Something surprised me. My attention went away and I caught up on the lyrics for a second. And the person misinterpreted a sign I sent, but I found out right away because I'm good at collecting data and information. And she believed I was uncomfortable with her filming. No, I was surprised with her filming. And the only reason that we got to have that conversation, that I wasn't mad, I was surprised, and I also give permission, I also arrange to do it on the next video, is that I have skill sets that fall under these different types of intelligence that I put in practice. I don't just claim them or test high on them in theory.